So I saw these names and they were like, Broadway. And I was like, I'll do it. Then I ended up in New Jersey.
You were like other side of the river?
I know, I said, oh, I was thinking Times Square.
Hello, beautiful human. I am Zach. That is Dana. We welcome to the studio a human being who has been doing this for far too long because we just realized that she has come on our show before in the year 2013.
Yep.
She's also somebody who maybe illegally drove, but that's how she learned, and it's okay. You're also a 7-time Grammy nominated human being. You're a one-time winner. More in your future. You're also an incredible actress. Your story's amazing. Welcome to the studio, Coco Jones.
Period. I'm so excited to be here, dude. I literally watch all the interviews because I'm like, I want to learn about these folks. Because you ask some great questions, man. You get in there.
I love you.
You do.
Yes.
I
You
love
said,
you too.
I saw you on the Grammys red carpet, and you said that, and it really brightened. It really made me very, 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 very deeply happy. But also, real recognizes real, and you are real. Your story is incredible.
Thanks, man.
It's like how does success feel better when you know that you've proved people wrong?
Ooh, I mean, absolutely. I feel like you can't really appreciate anything until you go through some opposition and you go through what it could have been like, you know? Like if you've ever been in a terrible relationship, once you get in something good, you're like, whoa, wow, I see the other side of this rainbow, purr. But you wouldn't know there was even a rainbow if you hadn't went through that storm, that hailstorm.
100%.
You know?
And by the way, we have a debut album to discuss, which is woven with incredible vocals, also great stories.
Thanks.
That seem like very real.
Yeah, definitely.
Deeply real.
Definitely.
God, like an album that was definitely years in the making. So let's get back to the story can we start with the story? Because it is so fascinating to me that, okay, you had one quote unquote path.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Over at the Disney Channel, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, you said it in this video that was so powerful. Whatever their mold was, they refused to make something for you. They were trying to shove you into something that they already had. Is that somewhat correct?
Well, yeah, I think it was kind of like you go with what works. And until that machine doesn't work anymore, no need to change anything. But I think what they were trying to do with this plug and play couldn't work with someone with my aesthetic and with my voice. So I think we both at the time kind of realized, okay, this isn't going to work, but what will, And it was kind of up to me to kind of carve a path because it's something that I feel like, you don't know how to do at the time. I'm, this 13-year-old Black girl who can sing like freaking 30-year-old, like, you don't know what to do with that, nor do I. So it's kind of like an experimental process that I feel like I had to kind of get out of that box to find for myself.
Do you feel like they should have known what to do with it?
No. I mean, who's the blueprint? Well, there's a couple examples. But I think for me, it needed to happen the way it happened for me. Because let's say it all went hypothetically perfect and bam, they know exactly what to do. They give me the right songs. They market me everywhere. I'm everywhere on everyone's TV screen. I'm 14. I have no identity. I have no idea who I am. I'm literally just a copycat of whatever version of me I'm told to be. So at the time, it would have led to a crazy crash out. I had no personality. I just knew how to execute. I was like a robot.
Were you thinking about the execution or were you just doing it without thinking about it, like a flow state back then?
Well, honestly, when it came to singing, it was also second nature that I didn't think about much until I had to start thinking about how to dial it back because that was a constructive criticism I would get all the time. Like, less, just do less. It's like, it's too much.
How did that make you feel?
Well, at the time, I didn't really care. I was like, okay, how do I do less?
Anything to please.
I wanted to be on some Hannah Montana. I wanted to be, to me, it all was just such a dream. Even to be there recording these songs that somebody told me to sing, like, great. But I didn't know the other side. I didn't know the real artistry that comes with like having to prove yourself and having to experiment and live and make mistakes. And I didn't have any mistakes to make at that time. I was just a what is it, like type A, very type A, and I was very headstrong and set on being successful. So whatever that whatever that looked like, I'm like, y'all must know better than me, so I'll do it. Okay.
By the way, the truth was you were doing everything that they could have wanted.
Oh,
in a
absolutely.
talent.
I was the most easy to work with girly. I mean, dang. I would see other girls and they'd be like saying no and stuff. And I'd be like, what the heck? Like, what? Is that allowed? Your opinions? You know, because I mean, we were just like, think about it. We're from Tennessee. We're from the middle of nowhere. And now we're in LA and I'm signed to this label and I'm in this machine and they love me and they love what I do. And I'm like,
dreams are made
this
of.
is what dreams are made of. I had no problem with any of the way that it went down until I felt like, okay, we were running into this like wall, you know? You guys are telling me to sing it like this, then I sing it like that, then it's too much, then we scrap it. And now it's not coming out because we keep scrapping everything, but I thought I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. And that's when I feel like it kind of like woke me up out of this trance of like, hey, maybe you need to say something, maybe you need to do something, maybe this is up to you. Because I was starting to fall in love with songs and they weren't the ones that were sent to me. I would just work with these producers because they'd be like, whoa, you can sing really good. And I was like, oh yeah. And they were like, let's work again, just you and us. And I was like, okay. So then I started to make songs that I would really be attached to. And so then when they would get scrapped, it would hurt. At first it was like, okay. But then it started to be like, hey, damn, I really like that song. Or what? Like, okay, that wasn't good enough? What does that mean? You know? And so it kind of woke me up to once we got to like the end part, it was like this mutual agreement of like, we don't know what to do. Let's just not. And I was like, all right, okay. I mean, it hurt and I was scared of what's next, but I think I'm so grateful that they understood that I had some other path and they couldn't help. They couldn't help me.
And the truth is, like, are you upset about the shelving of your music?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Come
I'm not
on.
upset about any of the ways that anything panned out because I feel like it had to happen the way it happened so that I could be who I am right now. Honestly, like, I was very unrelatable, honestly. I'm this girl who doesn't care about boys. I don't want to go to no parties. I don't know even that song. I don't know that. All I know is Disney Channel stuff. All I know is what's in the world around me. I study the world around me. I had no grits. I had no relatability. I had no experiences. And like, that's not a human being. That's not a girl I want to kick it with. So I think I'm grateful that it happened the way that it did so that I could become like, I don't know, likable. I was aiming to please, but I don't like that.
No, but by the way, you had the opportunity to live, right?
Exactly.
Like, exist and evolve as a human being without like the confines of this intense structure and this intense desire to just please these grown individuals.
Yeah.
Who like God, like you couldn't even make them out, point them out in a lineup today, most likely.
Real. That's very real. And I think the part that I'm the most grateful for was I got to experience the spotlight, experience what that looks like when people know you, experience the machine, the balancing of it all. I was doing school, I was learning songs, I was learning the scripts, and I was doing the choreo because it's all one thing. But it was gone, and then I got to live. Then I got to go to like parties, and I got to drink, then I got to be in love, and got to break up, and I got to figure out like, whoa, this is real life up in here. So now I get to mesh both of the two.
Blessing of a balance.com. Blessing of a balance.
I completely agree. I'm not upset about anything. I have no ill feelings towards my past. I have no embarrassment towards anything I've ever done, any version of myself. They're all like my little sister. I'm like, love you, girl. Keep going.
And I feel like all of it does come out in what you do today, right?
Yeah.
Like it's taught you a bunch of lessons.
Facts.
And like made you in. I just love the fact that like you go finish school, you live a normal life, and then you go to New Jersey. By the way, my pen exploded all over my hands.
Okay, great.
It's a good day today. You go to New Jersey, you perform at my favorite theater ever, the Paper Mill Playhouse. Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
LOLOL. How do you know that? How do you know that place?
I'm from New Jersey.
Okay, wait. What part are you from?
I'm from Wayne, New Jersey.
Okay, period.
So, I was born in Patterson, raised in Wayne. It's about like 25 minutes outside of Manhattan.
Okay,
and
cool.
Maybe one day I'll be the governor of New Jersey. Never say never.
Never. Would never dream to.
I love New Jersey.
Cool. That's so funny that you even know that part of me. Because that was just such a random blip in like the Courtney story. Yeah.
The Courtney story.
I mean, I'd be thinking my real name, Coco story, I guess. But yeah, so I was planning to move to LA. And then I got this, I don't even know how this opportunity came to me, but they were like, I can't remember who exactly it was. But I know Tommy Mottola was one of the people involved. Robert De Niro was one of the people involved. So I saw these names and they were like, Broadway. And I was like, I'll do it. Then I ended up in New Jersey.
You were like other side of the river?
I know. I said, I was thinking Times Square. I said, okay, New York adjacent. New York adjacent. But no, Broadway was like a really like legit training ground because I was like, you guys are underpaid. This is hard work. Like, you're your own hair and makeup. You are your own stylist. Get your props. Know your lines. Know your set in one take because this is live. I was like, this is too much.
And then do it 8 times a week or something. Like,
yes, dude.
What?
Literally, by the end, I felt like such a freaking robot. I was like, I knew everything that was going to happen. I was like, I should not know the future like this. I feel like Raven Simone. It was too much.
But that's muscle memory.
Yeah, it was crazy, though. It was like, whoa, that's a very interesting world over there.
Do you achieve any of that vocally or like maybe when you're touring? Like,
oh, absolutely. Like, it can get to a point where you know it so well that you can be like, what am I going to eat tonight? Ooh, yeah, pasta sounds good. And then I'll be like, hey, you're on stage right now, you know? Because you know it so well, like after so much repetition that you could low-key zone out.
But are you placing emotion into your vocals and are you thinking about the words that you're singing?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm like, hey, girl, lock back in. Because like you can get like a little distracted, but then something will bring you back. Like maybe a fan in their face or maybe a memory or that one lyric or that one part you really love or like the crowd reactions. Like things can bring you back. And you don't zone out the whole time. It's just like little seconds.
Your story's amazing. I just like can't believe we're talking to a human being, by the way, that is like you do get it, right? Like everything that like you wanted to essentially do, like everything you dreamed of that maybe at one point like was put on pause or like maybe thought was unobtainable has 100% come to fruition. I'm not crazy, right? Like you are a Grammy-nominated, Grammy-winning human being who also has a hit television show.
Yeah. I guess it is kind of indescribable in a way. But you know what? I feel like I'm in a kind of like I'm in a delusional state, and I think that's what will keep me working hard. Like even my publicist today, Lauren, was saying like, you still work as hard as you did like 3 years ago. Like 3 years ago, it was like, you proving it. It's prove it time. Prove it. I was doing everything. And in my mind, I'm like, I am? I'm like, dang, I thought in my brain I was not doing enough. Like, because in my brain, I'm like, you haven't done anything. Not like I'm squashing it. Like, of course I know. Okay, yes, you did win a Grammy. Yes, that happens. But in my brain, I'm also like, still more to do. So it kind of was like, I feel like it's the same brain from when nobody believed, you know? I'm like, still more to do.
Does the delay in debut album play a part in like the still more to do attitude?
You said delaying it?
Not delay, but like, I mean, you've been on this journey for a long time.
Yeah. Yes, it does. In a way, I still feel like a baby, you know? Because like my peers are like on album 3. I'm like, okay, still more to do. I'm like, okay, you just got here. Like that's how I really feel in my brain.
It's great.
But then people are like, you did win a Grammy. You do have a hit show. And I'm like, oh, yes. Still more to do. I don't know. I don't know when it'll feel like I've done it, girl. I hope I never feel that way. I hope it's continuously like, okay, next. Still more to do. I don't know. Maybe it should one day feel that way. I'll let you know if I ever get there.
So what is fulfilling about crafting records?
Ooh, that's a great question. What's fulfilling? I think for me, it's the final product, like a body of work to some degree. I mean, this is my first album, so this is my first time feeling like, wow, you have done an album. And I think also what's fulfilling is challenging myself creatively, because I feel like I'm inspired by so many things, but I could never do that. I could never do what's already been done. So it's like, I feel like Albert Einstein, man. Sometimes I'm trying to create something that's just like out of air, you know? And I'm like, I'm trying to describe something in my brain, and I'm like, I want to do this. It's in my brain. Do you understand? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen this before. No. And so it's like this process. It's this grueling process sometimes of getting what's in my brain in the world, you know, real life. And it's a great feeling when it happens and it's out and it's like, okay, yes. Because it's hard sometimes, because I tell people like, okay, yes, I do R&B, but like, I don't want it to sound like anything I've ever heard. So what you got that's not like anything? And they're like, okay. And I'm like, they're playing me stuff and I'm like, yeah, no, something else. And so we're just working hard to get to something where I'm like, that is something I've never heard. Now let me say something I've never said. You know, it's like, damn, this shit is hard.
Yeah.
But it's a good payoff. That is like a good payoff. When I get that song that makes me feel like, finally, yeah.
Do you
like
wish you a wrestler?
Yeah, when they put somebody on the ground. Putting it down there.
Is that description what led you to Taste?
Ooh.
Oh, so good.
I mean, the wrestler just came off the dome right now. But now that's another type of creative world where I'm like, okay, so at this time I was happy with the album. And the album was supposed to come out in October of last year.
So you did delay the album.
I did delay it. I was like, who told you that? Yes, I did. I was like, how do you know? It was supposed to come out in October. But, one thing that I really forget when I'm in the music is that, oh, yeah, there's the business. And it's like the music business. Like, okay. So all of the business was like still to be figured out. And it just kept pushing things and pushing the deadline. And so it was like, okay, well, if you want the rollout you want to roll out, something got to break. So we had to push the album so that everything could be finalized. And then we could start to plan what you do to plan for, a big drop. So I was happy with the album at the time. So then the wrestler was already on the ground. So there was no need to struggle. It was just like, hey, let's see what happens. I was in the studio and I was vibing. I was with Stargate and Jasper Harris. And I was like, what y'all got? Let's have some fun. The pressure's off. And I was listening to stuff, and I listened to like the chop and screw Taste Toxic sample. And I was like, that's cute. I was like, let's just chop a piece and put it all throughout this beat, and I'm just gonna sing around it and see what happens. It was like light and no pressure. And that's like a different version of me. That's like EP version of me, where I had nothing to compare anything to. So I was like, let's play.
That.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that like a beautiful feeling? Like nothing to compare it to, nothing to technically kind of lose.
Yes, man. I was like, stakes were low as freak. Take me back. But I feel like the stakes now, like I have to remind myself that there is no formula, because if there was, then we'd all be doing that formula. Like every label would know it, every artist would know it. Like, oh, you doing the formula? No, there's no formula. So what's the next best thing? To go with whatever is your truth, whatever is authentic, and just keep doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? The consistency of it.
Do you come in with stories that you want to tell, or is it kind of whatever could be percolating from just experience or life, whatever just needs to be told?
I come in with stories for sure. And I love to co-write because I'm like, help, this is hard. And I want other perspectives too. I don't know everything. I haven't experienced everything. And I think if somebody is a good writer, definitely tell me that line ain't cutting it. Definitely. Like, let's get the best product. So I love to co-write. And I want everybody to come in with ideas and concepts. And sometimes I'm like the lead and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm thinking. And then other times I'm like, burntout.com. So I'm like, what you got? And then we go off that.
And for Toxic or Taste, really, the interpolation, it's great. It's a hit.
Thank you.
It's reminiscent of the original.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like the original whatsoever, and your fucking vocals are crazy. And the high notes, nuts.
Thank you.
No, like, do you think about where you place vocals, or do you do like an emotional pass at it?
I definitely think about it, but it depends on the song. If the song is one of those ones where it's like, okay, the vocals will be carrying it on their spinal cord, then I'm definitely thinking, what's the highest and what's the lowest? Like, let's really do it. But if it's another one where it's more of that energy, like Taste is like an energy. It's not necessarily a G sharp. It's like an energy. So whatever comes out is what comes out. What, note wise, pitch wise.
Is it like that for most of the songs on this record?
Most of them, yeah, some of them are about that energy, but then other ones are about like, okay, this is a very vocally focused song. Like I have a song on there called Other Side of Love. And it is a very vocally challenging song because I think that I want to also remind people like, hey, this is what I've been doing my whole life, This is what I've been putting my energy towards forever. And so sometimes you specifically want to like, flex.
So how does that work against the production, right? So like it's really just a loop that you're writing to, right?
Yeah.
So then
yeah.
Can you just explain like how that works with runs? Like I'm just interested.
Well, you know what? I think with a loop, you kind of have this like creative freedom to go wherever and the beat will find you, The beat will cater to whatever you create. So I think especially when it's something super vocally driven that you're like writing from scratch, I think it's good. Like I don't want to be taken somewhere that I wasn't going to originally go because you decided to put an 808 on that, you know? So, yeah, I feel like it's like a free template to like do you.
And then like you dress over your vocals?
What does dress over mean?
Meaning like, okay, so like you cut vocals to whatever the loop is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they produce on top of that.
Yep. Yeah. Now that happens sometimes, but also I like to sometimes have the beat made and then I'll write to that.
God, I gotta get like a fully done song.
Yeah, I think so sometimes. Because I feel like if I do melodies, especially if it's a song where like the energy needs to be the main girl, I want to feel like I'm in the club. So it inspires me to sing whatever I, would sing in the club.
Can we talk about Keep Quiet?
Yeah.
Her people do her people.
They do. Whoa, this is cool that you know this stuff.
It's really true.
Yeah.
But also you can't enable it by like giving them a free pass.
True that.
It's hard.
It is.
Because those people could also be the people you love.
Facts.
But also this like idea of like keeping things quiet, not bringing it out to the public, keeping things between you and your partner. Fuck. Yes, real.
Super real. And I think also what I love about that song is I'm like so excited to be talking about my new music.
It's a great album.
Thank you. Thank you. What I like about that song is I don't want to ever let somebody think that I don't know my worth. I don't know that I'm that girl too. So in this relationship, it's not just like, hey, if you're going to hurt me, just don't tell anyone. It's like, if you're going to keep it low, then keep it low because people looking at me too. I don't want to be embarrassed either because we both got a reputation, you know? It's kind of like we're equal. So don't play with me and I won't play with you. Not like I'm scared, please. It's like, hey, don't do it. Don't do it. Because they look at both of us crazy. Not just you, it's me. It's us. We're equal.
By the way, it's a great way to respond to like somebody's crazy.
Yeah. I don't ever want them to think that like you're higher. Because if you're higher than me, then I got to look up to you. We're seeing eye to eye. Because I pop shit too.
Yeah. That. How do you how do you bring that into a session? Like, do you carry that? Like, does that just come to you while you're there? Do you like?
Okay, so with Keep It Quiet specifically, I remember, I think it was Jasper who had like just that, that 4 on the floor. And I was like, this makes me feel like, watch it.
That's how
Wrestler.
That's how you feel the first second you listen to this album is that.
You know?
Yeah.
I love starting it with that. I do think that's so cool. Like,
so good.
I really hope that once the album is out, people gravitate to songs like and realize like, wow, R&B is a lot of things. It's a lot of things. It's not just it's that too, but it's also what? It's that too. It's all the emotions.
Was R&B always something that drove you as a human being, or was it something you kind of just ended up in? I mean, do you even think about R&B when you're making a record, like a genre at all?
I definitely feel like R&B is culture, and I'm inspired by a lot of culture. I mean, I'm immersed in it. I come from it. So yeah, naturally, I steer towards it. But I also think what inspired me my entire life was that urgency and like when I'm drawn into something, you know? Like it could be a country song, but I'm like, whoa, I'm in there. You're bringing me in. It could be pop. Like there's just a certain energy and like quality that has always drawn me, and it's genreless. It's this, pay attention, because this is something you don't want to miss. Even if it's like a sad song, you don't want to miss this. Like this is, time stands still for this. And I think that type of feeling has always been like the end goal, you know? And you can do that through any genre, but I just happen to, I mean, the way I sing, I think a lot of my vocal choices make songs more R&B, but that is to me cool because then I could do a song like Taste where I have a Toxic sample that's super pop, and then I'm gonna do my thing on it, and it becomes pop R&B.
So good.
It's cool.
I gotta say, like, where you talk about like where you come from a little bit in terms of what makes you, and your upbringing is really unique. Your mom was like a backup singer, or is a backup singer, session singer, and your dad's an athlete, professional athlete.
Yeah,
that combination, gnarly in the best way.
It is very, very interesting. I think because I never was told that my dreams were like out of reach. Like my dad made it into the 1% that gets to play this sport professionally, you know? And so nobody was worried about the odds with us, you know? If you already have seen it, you know it's possible,
Yes.
especially when it's someone so close to you. So you really truly believe that the sky's the limit and you can do something that feels impossible.
That understanding is super powerful.
It is. It is. I think I feel like every kid should have that level of like delusion. I feel like we all do when we're like 3. We're like, I want to be an astronaut. Okay, girl, for her. But I think you should keep it. I think you should keep it your whole life. Because I think the way you believe about your life is the way your life becomes. You know? So a man thinketh, so he is.
No, yes. Manifestation.
Girl, I mean, not girl. Sorry, I say girl a lot.
God.
But I truly do believe, like, even in the Bible, like, I always would think about this verse, the power of life and death is in the tongue. So I've always been very conscious of what I say, what people say about me. Like, girl, you are so stupid. Huh? Wait a minute. I can't accept that. I really believe that. I really believe it.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, manifestation, speaking things into existence, and I do believe like manifestation and prayer is very similar, right? This idea that you're talking to something, you're speaking something into existence, you're holding something in your brain, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then talking it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It is. I think that, but also you have to have like, I think that's where faith and delusion to me are kind of like the same thing, because faith to me is like walking in a life that may not be exactly what it is right now, but you know it's on the way. And I used to, when things weren't happening for me, I would ask myself, how would I act if I knew it was on the way? How would I act right now? And that's what I would do. I would work out still. I would write songs still. I would go to this audition still. I would do all of these things because I know it's on the way.
Did ICU change your life?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I think at the time, you know what? It was such a preparation meets storyline meets the opportunity meets a great song. It was like a blender of the perfect storm for real. And I didn't know it until afterwards. Because actually the song came out and like it took time for it to like catch. But when it caught, it was like a wrap. And I think I have to be very grateful to my team because they knew that song was going to do what I needed it to do, which was to introduce myself to the world, not just as like the girl from Disney, the little kid, as like a respectable artist, R&B singer with vocal chops. And I didn't know at the time that was like what was going to work for me, because I was like, this is too slow, this is too emotional, I need to do something cute and do a little cute bop. But my team knew, and I'm grateful that they chose that one for me. They ate that.
Do you find winning awards like for a song like that validating?
Yeah, I definitely do feel like it's validating because, like I had said, I feel like I'm in this world where I'm on the inside knowing how strict I am with myself, how hard I critique myself and how much I expect of myself. So I'm in my own head like, But then when something happens where I get an award and I'm like, oh, this must mean something. The world is saying something. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like proof that people see what you're doing and they think it's really good. Because sometimes like people can be like, oh my God, I love your song. Thank you. I'm like, okay. But like that is like real proof. Like, okay, they must know something. This must be real.
Why do you think people connected with it, the song?
I think because every human goes through very similar things in different ways. And I think music is the through line that connects everyone.
So true.
So when you really use music as the tool that it should be to be like, hey, been there too, then people just gravitate towards that, whatever that is, Like I'd be thinking like, don't worry about a thing. I'm like, yeah, you are so right. Like I'm talking to somebody because yes, you said that just to me and I won't worry. Like that music has the power to be like, this is advice. I'm talking to you. You hear me? And you're saying something back like, yeah, you're right. Like what? It's powerful. Music is powerful
I know.
when you really do what you can with it. So I think that's why people, gravitate towards it, because when I was recording the song, I was like, ugh, emotional. Like, I'm just pouring my heart out right now. Come on. And then, people hear it and they're like, same. I know exactly what you mean.
What inspired the record?
The music. I had heard Camper had produced the track, and I heard the music for it, and it was just not an option to not do something. It like called to me. Mm-hmm.
Where do you pull from?
That was real life. That was a real life story right there. I think in order for a song to really connect, you kind of gotta open up and be vulnerable. Like, even now when I'm recording, I have an option. Like, in my head, I'm like, okay, are you gonna let everybody in? Because that's how you get the songs that you need to get. So you gotta be willing to trust the people in the room. Like, this is what I'm going through. This is what they said. This is how it made me feel. This is what I want to talk about. This is why I'm upset right now. Like, you really gotta be able to just say it. And I used to be like a very anti-vulnerability, because like, ew. But now that I'm in my therapeutia bag, I'm like, okay, this is how I'm feeling. And we can use this and we can harness this to get something real that connects, because that's my job. My job is to make something real that connects. And then, you get it out. You express it, you can move on, heal.
But I got to give you credit. You've been vulnerable in records for a long time. I mean, Depressed came out in 2019. I mean, it was a very honest side of you. I mean, I'm not crazy. Like, you were talking about external pressures and just the comparative nature of social media. It really is a raw record.
Thank you. Wow. LOL. Fun fact. I was at this party one time and Doja Cat was like, I love Depressed. And I was like, girl, what? I'm like, that was literally funded by me. What the heck? Yeah, I didn't even expect.
What does that feel like in that moment?
So like weird.com/be for real. I was like, what?
You don't feel seen?
Of course I feel seen. Like, look at me smiling right now. Like, ah. Of course I feel seen. It's like, wow. You just never, like, and this is what I tell people who are like, how do you make it in the industry? I'm like, post, put it out. Anything you think, put it out
and
there.
Just do it.
Just do it. Because you do not know where anything's going and where it lands. But yeah.
Do you think you'd be here today if it wasn't for the What Happened to Coco Jones video? Did that reopen doors for you?
Heavy hitting questions in the room. I don't know. I really don't know. Because that to me was God. Because why did you make that one person think about me, and why did they tweet that, and why did other people care to retweet that? What? I feel like, but this has kind of been a pattern in my life. There would be times where I was like, all right, might be time to cash in your chips. Might be time to pack your bags and restart. Because it was getting scary. It was getting scary in the room. But then something would happen. And it'd be like, okay, then I'm unpack the bag, I guess. We're here. And so that was another example of like, all right, you know what? My engagement's low on these social platforms. I'm doing these covers. Nobody's watching. This is cringe, and I'm humbled out. Might be time to call it. And then I saw that tweet, and I was like, what? Okay. I mean, get the luggage out the car. We're here. And you just go with it. But I do not know. I will say, though, looking at the pattern of my life, it would have been something, because it always was something that kept me here. And I was ready to go. I was like, I'm tired. This hurts.
For timeline, right? So Depressed comes out in 2019, and 2020 you released that Where's Coco Jones been video.
Yeah.
If you didn't release that music, nobody would have had anything to even reference. Because like in that moment, right? Like you there's a rekindling of who you are and a reignition of just relevance.
Yeah.
And that would lead to you essentially getting signed.
Yeah. And honestly, that's why I say you have to have some sort of faith, because it was like not fun to push past the humbleness. Like, gross. It's giving has been. I'm like, ew, but I'm only 19. Like, what? But like, you just have to keep going. Like, and I will say, I knew I loved it, because when I would get in the studio, even if it was funded on my own, knowing that my money is renting out, but I'm like, I still got to do this. I want this song, so I still got to pay for the song. I want a video. I got to pay for it. And honestly, I was giving DIY queen. I had my homeboys. I'm like, hold this camera. We were doing whatever we had to do, but that's how you know you love it, because it's just straight up out. It must be done. Like, I ain't got much to do, but we got to do it. It just feels right. And so, yeah, I don't know what it would have been, but it would have been something, because I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop creating. I would be inspired and I'd have to do something.
That's how you know you're born to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's really it's magical, and I got to say, like, having to go back to those roots is a blessing.
Yeah.
It's like also a curse because like emotionally it's a lot to bear and it is hard. But once you get over that, you do grow a new sense of skin and also a new understanding of self-worth.
So real. That part. I literally said, never again will this job ever make me question if I'm good or not, if I'm worthy or not. Like, I refuse to ever feel that low again. And so even if it all went away to a day, I would be so happy. I really would, because it doesn't have anything to do with this. I want what I want. Of course, I have goals, but they do not affect my version of my self-worth. There's more to life. I got to live. I get this one life. And so it can't be based on y'all. Sorry. Y'all too fickle. In and out. No burger.
So what changes your life more, Let It Shine or Bel Air?
Whoa. Respectfully, it's Let It Shine, man. I mean, that movie, literally to this day, literally yesterday, I was in rehearsals practicing for a live show. And I walked past these two girls and they're like, oh my God, what the fuck? I'm like, what are they gonna say? I'm curious how they know me. I'm listening. I'm like, hey, listening, and they're like, that's freaking Roxy. I'm like, what? Like this, I don't know what was in that film, but it still has people in a chokehold. And I mean, okay, great.
It's a combination. It's the movie, yes. It's you, 100%, but it's also the era in which it was released. The amount of people, right? So can you just remind me of the year? It's probably 2012?
2013.
Yeah, 2013,
2012.
It's a very unique era. If it's
You're
2012,
so right.
it's the last moment where Nickelodeon and Disney Channel have real attention dominance and they have pure ownership over a massive generation, right? Like millennials. Our generation for the most part, and like a lot of Gen Z, most of Gen Z, they own it in like millions and millions, multi-millions. Now, like you don't even want to know what the numbers. It's like we could post on TikTok.
That's because it was before social media and stuff.
It was right when social media was taking it was parallel. Social media was actually amplifying traditional because streaming hadn't taken over fully yet. Everybody was planning for it. So the amount of people watching Disney Channel at that time was crazy. Oh my, like probably it could have been 12 million plus.
You know what?
A lot of like dozens of millions of people have probably seen that movie by this time.
And
no
that
joke.
shit was global.
Yeah.
Because I will be in literally freaking France and they're like, Roxy, and I'm like, what?
It's crazy.
I'm like, y'all all had this channel? I'm in South Africa filming and they're like, we love Let It Shine. Okay, it was way more powerful than I even knew.
But think about it, like this is pre all the Disney Pluses, the Apple Pluses, all of these big streaming services, and like attention, there was only so many places for it to go.
Yes.
So Disney, Nick, I mean, they were still, and that's like the year like Victorious is at its like is doing its thing, like Harley's doing its thing.
That's so freaking real. If you could go back, would you go back to that time where like there was only a few outlets to give your energy to?
Oh my gosh,
You say yes. Really?
A part of me, well, yeah, because I don't know, yes, but social media should still be there as an amplification.
Okay.
I think now there's just like an abundance of content to the point where you're inundated and you don't even know what could be good or worth your time or even accurate.
That right there ate. But wait, okay, so if only social media was the only platform, which one? Because it would still be a lot of stuff. It would just get worse and worse.
I would love like a YouTube, an Instagram, and a Twitter. Life was good when we had those three.
That's
and then
so
Vine
that
came in as like
That's
a
a good
joke.
point.
And like,
yeah.
like that was a simpler time for everybody.
Not Vine as a joke.
No, but like it was there, and then it was like,
please, Vine was an era too.
It was.
The girlies be on the Oscar carpet from Vine. I'm like, hey, okay.
I mean, Vine gave us Logan Paul
And Liza.
Yeah, Liza
my girl,
Koshy.
Liza is hilarious, but she's on Netflix.
Icon. Yeah.
I mean, okay, see, but that's my point though. It would have happened again. You either have to cut it completely, or like it can't because it'll just grow.
No, everything mutates.
Yes, man. She's giving bacteria.
It's so crazy.
Man, that was so an era. And you know what? And so that's why I think it was Let It Shine, because it's like this nostalgia effect.
Yes.
That they be like obsessed with. And I'm like, dang, see, I can't even really remember what it was like because I was just like in a dream world filming that. Like, I can't even remember all of it, except one time I did ask for hot cocoa and they made the most decadent hot chocolate I've ever. with a peppermint straw.
Oh,
I didn't even know they
wow.
make peppermint straws.
Wow.
I do remember that. It did have a chokehold on me.
But with the success, like you've mentioned, there was a second movie. What, like, you think they want to capitalize on it? What happened?
I have no idea. I was literally 14. I don't know. I don't even know if that was real. Maybe I made that up. I'm like, prove it. I'm like, where's the paper trail for this? No, but I know that there was like talks of doing more because that's kind of the formula. You know, you see like somebody and they're like a guest star. And then you see them and they have like a little bit of a speaking role. And then you see them and they're like, okay, girl, you're in that commercial a lot. And then you're like, okay, you have a TV show. Hey, you know, like that is kind of the formula. So, but I don't know.
Was there any apprehension of taking on such an iconic role in Bel Air? Like dude, big shoes.
Hell no, I wanted that job. I was like, sign me up.
Bills to pay.
I mean, what? That was
So
literally like
real.
fresh off the pandemic. I was like, help. Yes, when do we start? No, there was, I mean, honestly, if anything, it was like the auditioning process. Like, do I really audition for this? What's a reimagining? Does that mean it's supposed to look exactly like the original character? I don't look like the original character. What are we doing? I was like, let me read for Ashley. And my acting manager was like, Ashley is 12. Get your ass on film for Hilary. And I was like, okay, say less. I mean, I don't look like her, but we'll see. You know, just like limiting beliefs. Not cute, girl. Not cute. But thank God, you know, it was meant for me. So it's for me.
I mean, what do you learn in that moment?
Man, like, I think you got to really unpack some of them thoughts. Really unpack them. Because the backstory to I don't look like Hilary. It was like so much previous colorism trauma that like you got to ask yourself, where did this thought even stem from? Because it's just like it's so grown now that it's just part of the way I talk. I don't look like that. That's for those girls. They look like that. They get that. I look like this. I get this. And this was just like so like my truth until I started doing therapy and my therapist was like, wait, what's that? Why do you say that? And I'm like, oh, because it's the truth. And she's like, whose truth? And I'm like, the world's? And she was like, so the world's truth is your truth? That's the only choice you get? And I was like, hey, no, I don't want that to be my only choice. Is there other options? You know, you don't know until somebody that you like can candidly just say it all is like, unpack that. That's not health. And then you're like, oh, damn. I'm fucked up.
So does that event or you getting cast as Hilary and obviously therapy help like shatter any of those long-standing just assumptions?
Absolutely. And that's another reason why I'm a huge advocate of therapy. I started therapy and I got my whole family into therapy.
Oh,
we
so
all do therapy.
good.
I'm like, we're all going to heal. We're all going to grow.
It's the Bel Air paycheck going to good use.
Cash it. That's hilarious. But absolutely, I think we all in different ways are taught these things that are just not ours to carry, you know? And sometimes it's not even like subconscious. You wouldn't even know. And you're like, I'm happy.
Real.
You're like, girl, no, you're not. You hate it here. So yeah, I think therapy is a huge way of unpacking and very crucial. Very crucial.
Does it make you a better artist?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It takes confidence. Do you know how many songs are on those new Music Friday? You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your product. You have to believe what you're doing. Because then everyone else around you will believe it. If you're comparing to the next thing, like you said, there's so much, you don't even know what's good. But you gotta know what's good in your own soul. And I think that comes from doing that deep dive, doing the work, and constantly speaking that stuff to yourself. Like, it's a job in itself to not lose your confidence.
By the way, the confidence comes through in this album.
Thank you.
Why not more?
Why not?
Do you get an answer by the end of this creation process?
Yeah, the answer is, shit, why not? That is the answer. I mean, what I really wanted to do is, like, for one, expand what R&B is to me. We know where I come from. I have Disney influences. I have my mom's influences. I have my own influences as I'm coming of age, and then I have who I am now. And so it's a blender of different genres. And why not more to me is like, why can't I show all of those sides? Why should I do one thing and then who am I to blame if everyone only wants one thing from me? Because that's all I'm ever doing. Like, I have to show all of the different sides of me and what music means to me so that, you know, you can like teach people about yourself. And also, this is my first album ever, so I have so much more to do. And I'm like, why don't I just lean into this now? And then let the rest come when the rest comes. Instead of trying to get to point Z on this album, get serious.
That
You know?
life is a marathon, not a sprint.
Hell yeah.
My two favorite songs are fairly different. AE, Oh My God, and Forever Don't Hit Like Before.
Yes. Oh my God, they are super different. One is like love, and the other one is sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
AE,
That's
Oh My
cool.
God, very clever.
Thank
How'd
you.
you come up with that one?
Okay, so I was writing with Sarah and Levin, and we were just kind of having fun. And I remember I loved the track. Circuit did the track, and it was just like, I was just excited because I didn't have a song that was like super sex.com. And I have taste, and she's sensual, flirty. But this one is like, okay. I'm like, Mom, skip it. I mean, respectfully, Mom, skip a couple of my songs. Love you. She knows. Love you. But yeah, so I was excited. I was like, yes, okay. Oh my God, let's see what I say. Let's see what I do. And that's just how it came out. That's just how it came out. Yeah.
Do you actually tell your mom to skip those type of songs?
My mom knows. My mom knows. I literally, like, as we were becoming teens, I remember I said one thing to my mom, and I don't even know where I learned it. Oh, I said, it was kind of like a interpolation of Lurk could get your feelings hurt. And I said, Mom, don't go looking for answers you don't want. And she has quoted that for the rest of our lives. Literally, I'm like, it must have connected with her spirit. So I'd be like, Mom, I'm cursing on this side. Say less, my darling, skip. I'm like, Mom, the video's a little say less, skip. I'm like, good for you, girl. Protect your boundaries.
Who did your mom sing for?
I don't know. Well, I don't know actually the artist, but I do know that my mom, she did beauty pageants when she was growing up, and the talent that she had was always singing. And my grandpa was like the head of a sorority. I'm not gonna say it wrong, so I can't remember right now, Mom. But she would perform at all those galas. So she was like the one from the family, like you bring her to sing at the event, at the wedding. You know, she's the singer of the family.
Who teaches you that Lay's original potato chips is good for vocal health?
Whitney Houston.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think I saw it on a video where she said that. She ate some Lay's and she was like, the oil makes me sing better. I was like, say less.
Is it scientifically proven?
Hell no. I mean, there's so much sodium in them girls. It's probably an opposite effect, but I just love them.
How many chips you eat?
A lot.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, it depends. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I eat chips all the time. That's just not true because that just does not get you the outcome you want in this world, you know?
Yeah, but when you do eat them, when you do, you have to eat a lot.
Yeah, man. Like the way they're shaped right to go right on the tongue. I'm like, no. But I don't know if that really works. I do feel like it's like what's that one word? Placebo effect, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think it's working, so that makes it work.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. What are you thinking?
You did say something earlier. I think you wrote a note down about it. The difference between Courtney and Coco.
Oh,
I did. You're always watching me, eh?
I'm watching everything. I'm like
good.
walking here.
I liked that. That was good teamwork right there. The difference between Courtney and Coco. Coco, I feel like she's definitely a little more, what's the word? She's like, she doesn't play. She really doesn't play. She needs to know everything about what's going on and why. She's very hands-on. And Courtney is more feelings-based. Like, if I'm tired and I still have 4 more hours of whatever I'm doing, Courtney's nowhere to be found. Because I'm like, let's go. But when I'm like with my friends, I'm like, oh my gosh, hey y'all. And I don't want to talk about music. I want to talk about that TikTok I saw that's hilarious. I want to talk about who everyone's dating and what we're doing. And like, you know, I want to feel everything. And so I think that's probably the main difference between them. And I think Coco is also very, very sure of herself. And it's kind of like you have to be, because you got to know the answers. People are looking to you for the answers. What do you want? Da-da-da-da-da. Pick it, decide, know yourself. And Courtney's more like, oh my God, what if they don't like this freaking album? You know? So, yeah.
Is that what Courtney's worrying about right now?
Hell yeah. I mean, I think that's a fear in general. When anything that you put a lot of effort into and then you put it out into the world and you're like, okay, what do you guys think? You know, there's always that scary feeling of like, I hope everybody likes it. But I have to be real and know to myself that I can't please everybody. And also that like, dang, I still have so much to learn. I mean, this version of me from the EP, I feel like the EP girl was like, oh my God, They chose me. I'm signed again. I have something to do. People are looking at me. Now what do I do? Everybody else tell me what to do. I don't want to mess this up. I can't mess this up again. And I would tell her, hey, all the answers come from you, wrestler. What do you want? And I'd say, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, come on, let's figure it out. So now I'm the version of me where I'm like, I think I know what I want right now. This is what I want right now. And anybody have any thoughts on that? Okay, you suggest I shouldn't do that. Okay, I accept that. That's real. You don't think I should do this or that? Oh, phone ring.
It's so great, though.
Sorry.
So confident.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more confident. And then I still have my little moments where I'm like, ooh, and then I'm like, no, ooh, you know? So that's where I'm at right now. This is what I think I want. This is who I think I am. I'm going to lean into that. And that's why it's the why not more of it all. Like, let's just do it. See what happens. I don't have to know all the answers. And then I'll see who I am next go around. Next time I'm on this show.
Exciting.
Yeah. Why
Not More is waiting for you, the entire album and all of Coco's music. You can listen to it on Amazon Music. There's a link below. You're a big fan of Gossip Girl and Twilight, eh?
What? When did you read that? I do love Gossip Girl, Go Piss Girl. When did you read that?
When? I don't know.
Yeah,
on the
where?
internet, the
I'm like,
internet's forever.
Twilight, babe. That must have been a preteen interview right there.
Actually,
Was
producer
this
Kim's
the last time I was on your show?
No, producer Kim's a big fan of J14 and Magazine.
Guys, LOL. That's
No,
hilarious.
she did want to know if you were Team Jacob or Team Edward.
You know what? They both got some toxicity in the room. I think she need to stick alone. Her and that child. Rose Emily, what's her name? Rose Lemonade? Rosemaid?
What is it, Carlos?
Resume. No, it's not resume. Is it resume? I don't know.
No way.
Respucia. Girl, we don't know her name. But I'm like, baby, they are taking you down.
Rosacea?
I don't know. But yeah, I don't like them either. They both were like, oh, y'all draining me.
Well,
Y'all draining me.
You're in your own vampire movie.
Rosalie?
Oh my God. You were going to bring that up. Was it Rosalie?
Rosalie Hale.
Okay.
Did you Google that?
Yeah.
Okay, period. Rosalie. Her and Rosalie need to get out of there. You know what? Fly away, girl. You a vampire now. Stay far away from the sun and stay far away from the men.
It's
Renesmee.
Renesmee. It's not Rosalie.
Fuck.
It's Renesmee.
What's going on? Who the fuck? Like, what is going on with this child's name? This is getting out of hand.
The internet will correct us.
No, seriously. They're about to come for us. Why did we name her so wrong for so long?
I'm actually so embarrassed.
I can't. And Googled, we Googled and then, no, we just have to move on. Like, that was too much.
I don't know where to go from here.
I know. I'm like, how do you pick up where we left off now? But no, you asked me what I'm a big fan of. So I do love Gossip Girl, but I think my top show is The Office.
Oh.
It's really like my comfort,
Taste.
my happiness.
I'll
my
watch
dopamine.
that any day of the week.
Anytime. Like, I can quote that. girl.
Parkour. Yes.
Okay?
So good. So good. You do really good accents, apparently.
Oh, man. I mean, sure. I'm going to be humble. Yes.
Okay, like which is your what do you do the best?
What do I do the best? I think I probably do like singing accents the best. Like I had done this segment on the Terrell Show where I did a bunch of like he just gave me artist names and I was like,
You could just mimic them?
I guess, yeah.
You have an ear like that, eh?
I mean, I guess I'm good at like memorizing. So yeah, I would say so. But it's not something I'm gonna go on stage and be like, and who do you want now? It's good to like.
We're not there yet.
No, I'm not there yet.
That's like Vegas.
Right. And when I get into my residency bag, I'm like, okay, we can do a couple eras of people. Who y'all want to see?
No, when you're so deep into the residency that you've done it for so many years.
No, seriously.
Yeah,
but hey, I'm not mad at that though. When you know you're a legend when you do your residency. Like you know you have made legend status.
Oh yeah, I gotta say something. I've randomly, like the last time I think I was in Vegas, like made like friends with this guy named Terry Fader.
Okay.
He's the first guy who won America's Got Talent, but he's what is it called?
Puppeteer?
No, yeah, like he's a ventriloquist. But like not just like a normal ventriloquist, like the ventriloquist. And this guy does the same show 6 times a week to quite literally 1,000 old people in scooters. And he is so rich. And like
you're lying.
No, like mints. Crazy. He has the longest running show in Vegas.
No way.
No.
And he won
America's Got Talent. He got rich from that, and then they put him in Vegas, and that was like He was the first season 1 winner.
Shut
And he's still
up.
there. Yeah, crazy money.
I gotta look this man up.
Fat racks. He's really talented. But he has a good life.
Wow.
So when I thought of you on stage doing impressions, I also thought of Terry Fader performing to quite literally a giant room of geriatric people.
That's crazy. Now, if y'all ever see me on the stage talking about, hey, honey, I'm home, please call the cops, because that is not me. Take me to the psychiatric ward. That is not where I was supposed to be at. That's crazy. I gotta look that up though.
It's really, when you watch somebody do it, it's like, holy shit. Because they throw their voice.
Yeah, and then where is it coming from? Do we talking from the side? Where is it coming
somewhere.
from? Was his lips moving?
No. And he does an amazing Etta James impersonation.
What?
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
You sang Etta James in 2013 on this show. You sang
On
at
this
last.
show?
Yeah. Hold
Wait,
on.
thanks for
What?
saving me with that segue. I need to get that.
Wasn't I gonna
Need to get out of
Hold on,
that.
Hear it?
Wait.
Is that on 2X? Are you listening to that in 2X?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is your speed on?
Sorry, I was trying to.
I was like, hold on. First of all, I was giving Alvin and the Chipmunks. But second of all, I know about that 2X dog. Yo, did you see that YouTube has the 3X now?
Yeah, you just get their videos real quick.
Bro, I'm like, something's wrong with me. Because
Yeah.
I'm listening to it and it's like, and I'm like,
And then you go back down to regular, you're like, is this slow motion?
know. Yes. I'm like, something's wrong with me.
I deal with the same
I think
problem.
I broke my patience tolerance
Yeah,
with
me
that
too.
3X. And they have the 4X, but I'm like, it's too much.
What?
I literally feel like it's not right.
So are you just solely consuming videos that fast?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very concerning.
Because if you put on a video that's 40 minutes, you're like, I can get this done in 15. I can get this done in 20.
Dude, yeah, we are here right now.
Yeah, we are.
I will be on the elliptical and I'll be like, and that's what I'm like, for sure. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, let me hear this girl.
Let's hear this.
Hey.
Me breaking the mic.
Yeah, or my bad processing.
I know that's right.
Great.
Hey,
There you
little
go.
sister. That is so freaking funny. I'm like not cringed out. I'm like, I listen to younger versions of myself like I'm my own mom. Like I'm my own stagecoach mom, and I'm like, she could have done that better. That was actually a good choice creatively. I like that. I don't know.
How healthy is that?
That's
That's
what
beautiful.
I'm saying, man. Are you in therapy?
In and out of it.
I'm gonna send you a business card.
Yeah,
I got
please.
somebody. You
Wait,
need someone.
No, genuinely, can you?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
No, I really can.
I'm not kidding.
Okay, great. We'll talk after.
I don't. Yeah, you're amazing, Coco Jones. Please, why not more? Go listen to the album. It's waiting for you on Amazon Music. I could talk to you for hours. You're such.
Oh my gosh.
You're an outstanding personality.
Thank you.
You have such a gift. You really are an incredible guest.
Aw, you're so
Right?
sweet.
Yeah,
Thanks,
phenomenal.
man.
No,
thank you.
outstanding.
Thanks, guys. This has been so fun. I appreciate you guys doing the work to ask me these really good questions.
Are you kidding?
So thanks.
Anytime. Our couch is always here. Coco Jones, everybody.